Hello everybody and welcome to the Crypto Session Brief. We're on Wednesday the 22nd of March 2023. We're just approaching 2 p.m. here in Europe. We're around 45 minutes away from the New York Open and probably around 7 hours until we have the FOMC meet, which of course is the event of the day, of the week, of the month. Especially given the recent banking crisis, the stress on the banking system in the US, for Fed providing liquidity. We've had the Credit Suisse UBS situation ongoing, but of course inflation still is the hot topic. In many ways, you've seen the UK inflation this morning come through higher than expected. You've seen recent signals with the Fed and inflation all looking a little bit hotter than expected, albeit some signs of promising wage growth cooling in the US. So we'll see what tone Powell takes. We've got the economic projections, the dot plot as well. So I think eyes will be firmly focused on where the Fed sees the terminal funds rate, how that compares to the current market pricing by the end of this year / mid next year, and basically we go from there to see what sort of market reaction we will get. Of course, markets in general, cryptos have been pretty volatile. We've had a big surge in prices to the upside on BTC. I'll go through Ripple movement in a second, but BTC is now one of the top performers in 2023 by almost 10 times. So it's beating gold, for example. If we was going to compare it to gold, even though gold has had a great year, BTC is 10 times its performance so far this year. If the Fed don't spark a rally, BTC could settle somewhere closer to maybe the 27k handle, maybe even 25. But if the Fed do come in a bit softer, if they don't raise rates, and if that economic dot plot shows the market is right with where it's currently pricing the funds rate, or even lower, then that'll give more reason for risk assets to rally, in my eyes anyway. So yeah, that's the important event of the day from a technical perspective. Looking at BTC, that daily inside bar yesterday, that's Monday, that's yesterday, this is today. So you've had the daily inside bar after the breakout finding support. So next break is quite important in my eyes. The last inside bar breakout was around about here last week, big breakout to the upside. We've continued on. So when you're trading with momentum, them inside bar breakouts can be quite handy for deciphering, are we going up next or down, because breakout of this top two levels, and I'm seeing us hit the 29,230 level pretty quickly. Ripple has seen some promising movement to the upside, albeit just as I say that, we are seeing some of those gains being given back. Why have we seen this? Why have we seen that? Why did we see that 20% move in the past 24 hours? There's a positive view in its ongoing case with the US SEC. Basically, Ripple defendants made a new filing earlier this week in support of their fair notice defense. The filing referenced rulings on SEC objections in the Voyager Digital Holdings bankruptcy case. It noted that the basis for Judge Wiles rejecting the SEC objections endorsed many of the arguments that Ripple defendants have presented in the filings. So this is an ongoing situation. We've seen the price jump quite significantly on the back of that. So Ripple, very much XRP, very much a news-driven crypto, I would say. Doesn't really trade. What I mean by that, it doesn't really have any kind of correlation with the others like BTC and Ethereum. We've seen the move up in risk. This has just gone nowhere. Basically, markets have been waiting for some further news on this case, and now we've got it. We've seen that spike higher, albeit they are looking to potentially fade that right now. And prices, the liquidity is really thin on this particular market as well. So if you are trading this, then I'm sure you may have noticed that yourself. So lower time frames are almost impossible at the moment. So that's Ripple. Ethereum's just been has continued to climb higher. You can see here on the H4, we've had a bit of consolidation over the past, let's call it 24 hours. Few bars which have just not really gone anywhere. Quite a contracted little area. When we have seen that, it's been a breakout pretty soon after. I've had maybe five or six, then the move, and again we're just along this 1790. So once again, eyes on the Fed. You are seeing from a technical view several higher lows, sorry, since that most recent main swing low on the 10th of this month, and this is all on the intraday time frame, it must be said, so on the H4. But we can look to continue this move higher. If we hold firstly at 1790, we can start making some moves up into the next major target of 2000. Litecoin, on the other hand, is not really going anywhere. You can see it's been rejecting every time we've come into the descending trend line, and the breakout to the upside, unlike with Ethereum and Bitcoin, doesn't seem to be on the cards at the moment. We've been tracking basically lower, tagging along with that descending trend line, so that's basically where we're at on Litecoin at the minute. You can see this sort of triangular pattern just starting to form. You get these highs here, some lower highs here, some higher lows, sorry, and then some lower highs on the other way. So now you're coming into the pointy end, and usually that signals there's a breakout on its way. That would mean a move into 88 initially, or a move back down into 75. That's pretty much it from my end for today's crypto session brief. I'll see you all inside the chat room and shortly for the US session brief. Thanks, and bye for now.